Orleans under a state of emergency this morning. The city's water pumping system is malfunctioning, and with more rain in the forecast, officials say some neighborhoods are at risk of serious flooding. New Orleans is still recovering from last weekend's heavy rains. The city has only one working turbine, which provides power to drainage pumps, so schools are closed today as a precaution.
Parts of New Orleans were underwater Saturday into Sunday morning. Our WDSU meteorologists say the city got up to 8 inches of rain, 9 in some isolated areas. Gentilly to Lakeview, Mid-City to Tremé, and parts of the CBD were all impacted. For several hours, homes and businesses dealt with standing water.
The devastating floods that swamped New Orleans last weekend have cost a number of officials their jobs. DeMarco Morgan is there.
As heavy rains on Saturday created flooding scenes reminiscent of Hurricane Katrina, 20 of the city's 121 drainage pumps were out of commission. Sewerage and Water Board Superintendent Joe Becker initially told us Monday the pumping stations were working at full capacity.
So there was no problems with the pumps at all. All the pumps were working. All of them were operating.
But the following day, at a city council meeting, he was forced to backtrack.
We tried to say, well, I was trying to say that we used the available pumping capacity to its fullest extent.
With nearly 10 inches of rain in 3 hours, Becker said the pumps were overwhelmed, but he admitted some were offline due to maintenance. One pump station operated at just 52% capacity. Now, 2 officials in charge of the pumping and drainage systems are out. Mayor Mitch Landrieu has asked for more resignations.
When you have credibility issues around anything, whether it's a big or small contributor to a major event, you have to do that.
Boy, where does all this rain come from? From the sky. Everybody knows that. But what Pete really wants to know is, how does the water get into the sky? Well, let's see. Fred sees one way. As the water dries off the horses, it goes into the air. But there are lots of other ways. When the sun comes out strongly after a shower, we can almost see the water disappearing into the air. Here, heat from the sun is drying the roof. Water at the top edge of the puddle slowly disappears into the air right before our eyes. Billions of gallons of water go into the air every hour from the ponds, lakes, rivers, and oceans all over the world. In fact, everything that dries is giving water to the air. Even wet fields do this. Yep, there's another way water can get into the air. The water on the doghouse roof dried pretty fast in the warm sun. This water disappears faster because the stove is hotter. This change from water we can see to water vapor we can't see is called evaporation. The cloud from the spout of the tea kettle is condensation of the water vapor from the tea kettle hitting the colder air. The hot water in the kettle gives off water vapor to the air by rapid evaporation, just as rivers, lakes, and ponds give off water vapor to the air by slow evaporation. As the hot water-filled air hits the colder air near the ice tray, the water vapor turns into clouds of tiny water droplets floating in the air, condensation. When the air is quite cold and cannot hold any more water droplets, they collect together to form larger drops, as on the ice tray. And being too heavy to float in the air, they fall back to the earth as rain. Without water in the air, we couldn't live. Our fields would be dry and nothing would grow. The hot water in the kettle gives off water vapor to the air by rapid evaporation, just as rivers, lakes, and ponds give off water vapor to the air by slow evaporation. The hot water in the kettle gives off water vapor to the air by rapid evaporation, just as rivers, lakes, and ponds give off water vapor to the air by slow evaporation. The hot water in the kettle gives off water vapor to the air by rapid evaporation, just as rivers, lakes, and ponds give off water vapor to the air by slow evaporation.
If you ever wonder where the rain comes from, here it is. This is Lamar County, some kind of power plant. They're using wet surface air coolers, and they're generating clouds like you would not believe. I've just been sitting here on a bike ride, getting all wet, and it's these guys right here that are making the weather, combined with whatever other goddamn crap they're using. Talk about fucked up. Look at this stuff. Goddamn fucking cloud machines. This is where the rain comes from, people. Open your goddamn eyes.